I'm here to talk about the 2 ways that I found through my own research and abilities to really make money reselling video games and stuff of that sort. When you think about flipping games, I think most people think about selling physical discs or cartridges or that sort of thing. Maybe consoles, Pokemon games. Obviously, everybody wants to sell that kind of stuff, but so does everybody. One thing that I found that I decided to keep my eyes out for is video game accessories. All right. That goes from Kinects to different Wii, like they have like the blasters and the bow and arrows and the zappers, all that stuff. But the big thing is the various guitar controllers that consists of all the various Guitar Heroes and the various Rock Band guitars. That also includes the drum kits, the microphones, and even just the pedals for the drums. Because the market was oversaturated, so they stopped making these games, right? They were making one every 6 months between Guitar Hero and Rock Band. There's one of them was coming out. People got so tired of it, and now they don't make them anymore. But now we've had enough time to actually realize those games were fun as hell. And with the resurgence, and do a lot of it also due to Fortnite Festival, that stuff is booming, all right? It's absolutely going crazy. A lot of the guitars go for insane money. Like, I find them consistently. I find them all the time. And people think, well, everybody wants them right now, so there must not be a lot to find. But a lot of people aren't looking for them. And a lot of times you can find them stuck away in like the toy section in like a pawn shop or like a thrift store or yard sales. People just think they're like just toys. Like I bought a bunch of them the other day. I bought 4 guitars and 2 drum kits for $25. Mind you, they were absolutely covered in dirt and weren't all working. But also, you can't be afraid to get in there, bro. It's not. I have no technical knowledge to my own, to myself. Like I don't like, I don't know computers. I don't know computers. I don't know any of that. But I figured it all out. And plus, those guitars are very simple. But what I'm saying, to boil it down, is broaden your horizons. Video games aren't just a disc or a cartridge or a console. There's a lot of parts of it, and they go for crazy money. Like that lot I bought with 4 guitars, 2 drums, I'm gonna make probably close to $400. So like $350 profit minus gas and my upfront. But I've also sold multiple Guitar Hero guitars. I've sold multiple drum kits that I've gotten for very cheap. I find them all the time at thrift stores. Like the same thrift store, I found a guitar, Rock Band kit probably 3 times. No, I have found them 3 times. So keep your eyes out. I've made a lot of money selling various accessories. Like I got things like also the Kinects. Everybody hated these, but for some reason they want them now. I don't understand, but they do. Don't be afraid to learn how to fix up remotes. Like a lot of remotes go for a lot of money. Just controllers. PlayStation controllers are good. Not incredibly difficult to dissect and figure out. Wii remotes are always good. But yeah, you got to broaden your horizons. It's basically the first one. The second one is don't be afraid of broken things. What I've done is I've actually actively sought out broken items because they're often completely glossed over by other people, and you can get them significantly cheaper than something full price. So like those guitars I mentioned earlier, they were completely covered in dirt. He didn't know which ones worked, which ones didn't. So I took them home. I bought them for $25. They could have all been broken. Basically, that was what he was telling me. He said he didn't know. All the guitars turned on, but 3 of them, the strum did not work at all. So I did good old YouTube University classes and followed some 10-year-old boy who taught me how to fix the strum. So I bought those guitars for $25, and now I'm going to sell them for about $80 a piece, bare minimum. One of them closer probably to $100, because I took half an hour to learn how to open them up and fix the strumming mechanic. And guess what? It's like literally 2 buttons. I practically opened it up and poked it with my finger, and now it works. Another thing is the broken games. As long as they're not heavily, they're not cracked. That cracking is one thing, but I go actively seek out like bins at the stores of scratch games. They're your friend. All right. I go to the pawn shop. I ask, hey, do you have any like a scratched bin? They often do. And you can get huge margins on those because if you didn't know this, a lot of video game stores offer a resurfacing. They offer resurfacing, and you can take your games in there. Usually, it's about like $2 to $4. Like the one I go to is I think $2.50 a game. I can bring the pile of games I got for 50 cents each, $1 each, and sell them for $5, $10, $15, $20. I've gotten a bunch of games that I've flipped for huge money. Like I just picked up this game the other day. This is about a $35 game that I got a lot of 8 games. I think I spent $20. I also got Mario Kart in it. I think Mario Party, a couple Call of Duty games. This game alone made me money. All those were free, basically. I seek out broken things. I've bought broken Guitar Hero guitars before. I bought broken Rock Band guitars and fixed them. I don't know anything about fixing things. The one thing I will say is consoles, unless you're like have a decent level of ability, I wouldn't recommend that. I've tried it a couple times. I've gotten like a couple of them to work. Consoles are a lot more complex, and I'm not that level. But games are a huge one. Scratch games, because people don't know what to do with them. They think they're gone, so they'll sell them for fractions. Like I bought, Super Mario Galaxies, Mario Karts for dollars, and sold them for $20, $25, $30, whatever they go for. So I've been seeking those out. I've been going out of my way to find those because they're glossed over. All right, before I was looking at pawn shops or thrift stores and whatever or whatnot, and opening them up and going, "Oh dang, it's scratched," putting it back on the shelf. Then I was like, "Wait, can't you fix these?" I even bought my own resurfacer, and for like all my games that are lightly scratched, I can do those myself. But like if I have a more valuable game that has deeper scratches, I'll take that to a store with like a really nice machine to get it fixed. And I can make big money. I have there's a game store I go to constantly, and they practically know me at this point. And yeah, so the two tactics I am promoting to you, which I'm saying I've been using and been making good money, is look for accessories. Seek out those valuable accessories that most people might be glossing over, might be putting wrong sections at stores. They often are. And if not, they don't know their value because they're booming. They're currently on the up and up right now. So you may buy it for what they think it's worth, and then I'm not saying go out of your way to cheat people and be like, "Hey, that's nothing, give me that." But, if somebody's selling a bunch of them at a yard sale and they don't know what they are, and clearly they're not going to... The thing is, I think people think that we as resellers are ripping people off, but we're taking the time to do the work that other people wouldn't want to do. They would rather just sell them at cheap prices and have us take the time to fix them up, clean them, figure out how much they cost, plot them, post them, and sell them and ship them. People won't want to do that. A lot of people have, their day jobs, and they don't feel like doing what we will take the time to do. So I don't see it as ripping somebody off if I'm getting something for super cheap. I mean, I'm never going to lie to somebody and tell them, oh, no, that's not worth it. If I see something and they ask me questions about it, I will obviously tell them what it's worth. I'm never going to lie to somebody. That's ridiculous. But don't be afraid. Don't feel like you're ripping people off by giving them what they're asking for. They're happy and you're happy. They're getting the price they asked for. Unless it's like, obviously, if they're trying to sell a $4,000 first edition Charizard and it's a nice old lady, you might not, and she's selling it for 50 cents. You might want to tell her, all right? Don't be a goblin, all right? But don't be afraid to accept good deals just because you feel like you're cheating them, because you're not. They're happy and you're happy. You're both getting the prices you asked for. Also, if you're already getting a good price, I wouldn't go out of your way to be like, hey, would you do 10 instead of 25? Like, come on, just take what you can get. You want to keep people happy, okay? You don't want to make enemies in this business, because this business at the end of the day is about your connections, all right? And you don't want to ruin them over greed. But that's all I have to say. So keep your eyes open. Look in places you wouldn't usually look. So that's still a first point. Look in different places. Find those things that aren't like the definition of video games, all right? Connects, certain cables, certain power cables for consoles, certain, AV connectors can go for more than you think. Like I bought a PlayStation the other day, a PS3. I got it for $15 because it looked horrendous. It looked like it had been sitting in a rat's den for about 17 years. He wanted 35. I was already going to make it slim margins. I was like, could you do 15? Because I don't know if this works. Guess what? It didn't work. But I was taking the risk on trying to fix it up. It had 10 different problems. I actually made it look brand spanking new. But there were some parts that were rusted in the middle. But guess what? I found that the power bank goes for, $25. So I pulled out the power bank, and it actually looked pretty decent. So I cleaned it up and put it up for sale. There, I made my money back. Like, it's not the worst thing to take a risk. It's actually a good thing to take risks. So keep your eyes open, keep your eyes peeled, and don't be afraid of scratch discs. I am excited when I see scratch discs, because I know I can, because then you have room to haggle as well. You can say, hey, I'm going to have to put the work in to get this fixed. Would you mind coming down for me a little bit? Like, if they are still trying to get you, closer to market price, you have the ability to haggle with them now, because now you're going to have to put in the work to make it work, not them. So you are getting the deal by taking on that low that they would have to if they wanted that full price. So you're not ripping people off. You're taking over, right? That disc is not going to sell scratched unless you're someone like me who's looking for that. So don't feel like you're cheating people, because you're not. That's all I got to say. Peace out.